After Ryu told him that he must not hide anything from him, Gyeonrok was shocked to learn that Ryu knew about his conversation with Arin, but wondered how. Did he see it in his future reading too? He inwardly thought. Ryu told him that he knew he had told Arin to get on his good side. Gyeonrok was taken aback and then apologized if that upset him. He explained that he only wanted to get close to Arin, so that's why he did that. However, Ryu suddenly cut him off, saying that he crossed the line by trying to use his brother for that. Inwardly, Gyeonrok was shocked that Ryu knew about that too. He bowed his head and sincerely apologized for making a foolish judgment regarding him. He vowed to fix everything that offended him. Ryu, still resolute, told him that since he sincerely apologized, he would let it slide and pretend he didn't hear his conversation with Arin. Gyeonrok was truly grateful to Ryu for giving him another chance. But suddenly the bodyguard came back and entered the room. Gyeonrok swiftly regained his posture to not look ridiculous in front of his employee, and then told the bodyguard to please leave. Trying to act cool, he told the bodyguard that he had something serious to discuss with Ryu, so he asked him to take the others to the next room. The bodyguard understood, and then left the room, closing the door behind him. Gyeonrok, on the other hand, inwardly cursed. He thought everything was going well thanks to Arin, but he couldn't believe he ended up offending Ryu instead. Suddenly, Ryu asked him if he wanted intel on the next round. Gyeonrok answered yes and asked him if he knew about it. Ryu responds that he accepted Gyeonrok's invitation mainly to discuss round 5, but given his actions, doing business or providing him with intel isn't easy. Gyeonrok once again sincerely apologizes, hoping Ryu won't take it to heart. Ryu then asserts that Gyeonrok shouldn't hide anything from him and must trust him completely. Additionally, there shouldn't be any unnecessary discussions about the company's management. He asks Gyeonrok to persuade the other shareholders at the meeting. Gyeonrok replies affirmatively, promising to exert control over the shareholders no matter what. Satisfied, Ryu smiles and assures him that he will ensure the company's growth. Now he proceeds to share the information about round 5 that Gyeonrok wanted. Gyeonrok's face lights up with happiness upon hearing this, but it swiftly changes after Ryu informs him that round 5 will be more challenging than any of the previous rounds. However, Ryu reassures him not to worry because he won't have a hard time clearing it. Gyeonrok then asks him what the quest is for him to say that. Ryu responds that the quest is to kill 300 orcs, but it's not that simple because there's something else. The zones will merge. He explains that they're likely merging to compensate for the decrease in players. Gyeonrok realizes that this means they'll be able to encounter players from other zones, like Black Scythe. However, Ryu clarifies that he won't be in the same zone as Black Scythe. Gyeonrok then questions if Ryu knows Black Scythe's real identity. Ryu admits that he's not aware of it either, but he assures Gyeonrok that he will find out soon, silently noting that Gyeonrok is already in front of him. He then continued, telling him that there's also something else. He says that Gyeonrok is going after Hwang Yong-min. Gyeonrok was taken aback that Ryu knows about that too. Ryu tells him that hiding the truth from him is useless. To which Gyeonrok answers, as expected, your rune of the future is beyond imagination. To Gyeonrok's shock, Ryu tells him to stop trying to track down Yong-min. Gyeonrok was confused, so he asked Ryu why he should do that. Ryu tells him that if he messes with Yong-min, he will have to suffer a lot. Still confused, Gyeonrok asks him, how exactly? Ryu answers that that's all he can tell him. After that, Gyeonrok stays silent for a moment, contemplating, while Ryu looks at him, grinning inwardly, saying that he is actually just saving Yong-min because he can be of use. After his contemplation, Gyeonrok answers that he won't try to locate Yong-min anymore, and since their business conversation is over, he asks him if they should get back to partying without any drinks, of course. Gyeonrok then sighs with relief, but he's still stressed out, so he inwardly says that he's got to de-stress tonight. In a rainy night, a guy is seen huffing and puffing. He's bleeding and running in fear, looking old and terrified. Now cornered, he stops and slowly turns around to face his chaser. As he sees the steps, he is terrified as a sword cuts his legs, making him fall to the floor. Now, with one hand gone and unable to walk, he screams in pain as loud as he could. But he is suddenly told to be quiet unless he wants his tongue cut off. The predator of this chase was Gyeonrok himself. The man asks him why on earth he's doing this to him, and what did he do to deserve this. Gyeonrok answers by saying that he is pretty shameless for a child molester, and asks if he wants him to spell it out for him. Terrified, the man tells him to wait, saying that was long ago, so why is he doing this to him now? He says that he has already served his sentence, and that he is just a regular old man now. Suddenly, Gyeonrok lifted his sword high and swung it down, piercing the old man's shoulder, eliciting another scream of pain. "Shut the fuck up and pipe down unless you want to die a slow and painful death," Gyeonrok told him sternly. He continued, warning the old man about the consequences of attracting witnesses, causing the screaming to cease. Pleased, Gyeonrok commended the old man for still having functional ears, and proceeded to declare that for a scumbag like him, mere existence was a sin, asking for his agreement. A dark aura began to manifest from his sword, surrounding them before entering the old man's body, leaving him shocked and terrified. Before he could speak, the dark aura seized his face, enveloping his entire body, while Gyeonrok watched the scene unfold. Internally, Gyeonrok lamented the necessity of charging dark magic, expressing frustration at not being able to dispatch the old man instantly. However, he acknowledged the need for dark magic to wield the aura and regenerate it by taking the life of a living being. As the dark aura completely enveloped the man, Gyeonrok coldly declared, "Die," reveling in the prospect of gaining more dark magic through killing. He admitted to enjoying the act of killing criminals, feeling it was his calling as a dark knight. With the scum now dead, Gyeonrok felt his pent-up stress dissipating. He instructed his sword to consume, but nothing happened, realizing corpses were not viable. Understanding that dark aura only fed on living beings, he accepted the limitation. Suddenly, a noise emanated from behind a trash can, prompting Gyeonrok to swiftly investigate, only to find relief in discovering it was just a cat. He sighed, convinced that no one had witnessed his actions. After all, he had deliberately lured the man into a secluded alleyway early in the morning. However, a sudden revelation struck him. There could be one potential witness to his murders, the seer Ryu Min. Gyeonrok mused inwardly that Ryu might have observed the scene through his rune of future. If that were the case, it would imply that Ryu approached him knowing he was a serial killer. Finding this notion intriguing, Gyeonrok grinned and promptly instructed his bodyguard to clean up the corpse. 2 weeks after the party with Gyeonrok, Ryu spent his day at home since he didn't have any plans. Considering the future, he deemed this rest necessary. However, today marked the end of that rest. Ryu stumbled upon a group page of players discussing the rounds, prompting him to join them, as he felt it was time to take action. Inwardly, he noted that one of the 5 runes available in the real world, the rune of incarnation, was about to appear. "Congrats! Season 1 has ended,"